to the first ever episode of Mentals. Mentals is a project going to be based around your mental health, all things mental, your thoughts, mental illnesses, all that type of stuff. Because I feel like it's very important, and I feel like not enough people talk about it, not enough people are aware about it, and I just kind of want to help in that regard. Because I had to learn the hard way about mental health. I didn't really know much about it growing up, and the mental illnesses that are possible, and there's nothing wrong with you if you have a mental illness, but that's later in the episode. But yeah, I had to learn the hard way, and I just want to talk a little bit about my experiences and things that I've went through in regarding mentals, and just in hopes that it can help someone else, because people always tell me like you're not the only one going through this, like everyone's going through this or whatever, and when you're going through it, well, maybe it's just me, but I didn't really care. I'm like, okay, I don't care that the people that are going through this, like, that sucks for them too. Like, I don't want to be going through this. I'm sure they don't. But I think it does give some sort of hope or reassurance that there are other people out there who are going through the same thing or have gone through the same thing. So I just want to share a little bit of my story in hopes that it can motivate some people, and just like if you're going through something right now, like I just want to say to just okay, sorry, I had to make sure I'm still recording. That's awkward. This is the first episode. Okay, it's not gonna be great. Okay, I mean, it's not gonna be that great. Okay, we will continue. Wow, I'm destroying my set right now. This is great. Okay, where was I? Yeah, well, I was in a very serious moment, and then I just completely ruined it. So the altar call is over, guys. I guess we can transition back, but I'm gonna keep this in. Like, I'm not gonna edit anything in this podcast. I guess let's start here. I'm not gonna edit nothing in this podcast because I want it to be very raw. Like, I want you to really see who I am. I want you to see my ADHD. I want you to see all of that. So the show will go on. Anyways, yeah, like I said, if you're going through something right now, literally the number one advice I can give to you is just to keep pushing, keep fighting. I know it seems hard. I know it's not something that you probably want to do, but I do believe it's worth it in the end. And like I said, I know it's difficult, and I want to talk about some of the stuff I've experienced right now, but it does get better. It does. You might not be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel right now, but it'll be there. It comes. Me personally, excuse me. I'm just now like getting out of the absolute worst season of my life, in every way possible. I don't even know like where to start, where to kind of share my experiences. I'm gonna try. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not. That's what we're not gonna do. In episode 1, maybe next episode might be some tears, but today I'm not gonna cry, and we're just gonna go through this smoothly. You guys like my ring? Well, if you're listening, you can't see my ring, but if you're watching it, you can see my ring. Madonna bought me this ring. Shout out Madonna. Anyways, so yeah, this past season has been absolutely terrible. I guess to start off, it kind of started with a breakup I had. It was a bad. Well, it wasn't a bad breakup as in like the person, but I just took it very poorly. I relied on that person way too much, and if you sit on a chair and that chair breaks, where you gonna end up? A duff low. So yeah, that kind of, although I was going through some stuff before we broke up, I was pretty depressed, which honestly was part of the reason why that happened. Um, but it wasn't really that bad. But I'd never been through anything like that before. I never, like I said, I never dealt with any mental health things. I've always just been this little happy boy all my life. Um, so I was pretty depressed, and I ended up, having a strain on the relationship and all of that. Um, and so, that happened, and I was extremely depressed, extremely distraught. Um, and like, not only was that happening, but like, and this wasn't just like a relationship just like for the heck of it or like whatever. Like, this is someone I really thought I could see myself marrying. So to have that just like taken from me, um, I'm using quotation marks if you can't see me. Um, it was very rough. It was very rough. And then on top of that, pretty much nothing else in my life was going how I wanted it to. Um, I wasn't working. I'm still not working as of February 1st. Um, Damn, see, I shouldn't have told y'all that. Like, because there's some snakes. Let me tell y'all. Let me tell y'all. Hold on. I have to very much censor, to an extent, what's in this podcast, because there are some snakes in the grass. Okay, let me tell you. Let me tell you. And there are people who are listening to this podcast not in hopes to hear my story or to learn about mental health, but to plot on my mental health. Okay, and me and the Lord have already talked about it, so I'm covered. I'm covered by the blood. But as far as anyone else I mentioned in this or whatever, like, I need to really be careful about what I say, because the snakes are listening, and they're smiling right now. They're laughing listening to this. So if you're smiling, laughing, listening to this, I might have some bad news for you, but it's okay. I'm praying for you, and the Lord will deliver you. I know He will. But anyways, yeah. So I wasn't working, and just everything just was just going bad mentally. I've so many times I felt like I was literally going insane, that I was literally psychotic, and that I literally should be in a mental institute. I've had so many nights where I've just sat in my bed and just like cried. I've cried myself to sleep. I've like screamed into my pillows. So I was super depressed. And then I've dealt with anxiety before, but never really to this extent. And I just got hit with like anxiety really bad, to the point where I really couldn't function anymore. I really couldn't do anything. Like, I couldn't leave the house really. I was just so anxious about so many things, where it literally took over my life. Anxiety and depression took over my life, and it was horrible. That stretch was horrible. I really, not only was I going through all that, but I really felt like I was going through it all alone. Um, See, this is where I have to walk the tightrope. Okay, so obviously, like, a lot of people would hear that and be like, "Oh man, like, I would have been there for you," and like, it's not that I don't want certain people to be there for me. It's just like when you're in those seasons, you want certain people to be there for you. And it's not that you don't want those people to be there for you, but you know, you want, excuse me, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. And what I wanted wasn't happening. Um, so I was super miserable. So when I say, like, I know what it's like to be like that, I mean it, to the point where, like, you don't want to clean up, you don't want to take showers. I've been there. I felt it. And I was just in such a miserable place, literally every day, hating my life, wishing I was dead pretty much every day. And I kind of hit rock bottom. If that wasn't enough, right? If that's not enough, I kind of hit rock bottom, and I started to kind of have these demonic attacks, um, which is something that I'm gonna explain briefly here, but I want to talk about it deeper in another episode. Basically, long story short, one night, it happened on two separate occasions. One night I was having a real bad night, super depressed. So I was like, I'm just go to like McDonald's or something, just try to get out the house, get some like fresh air. Um, so I'm driving to McDonald's, and on the way there, like I'm praying, I'm asking God, like God, like why me? Like why am I going through this? Like if you're so good, if you're almighty, you're all powerful, why are you allowing me to go through this? Um, and I literally started to hear demons in my head tell me like, you can end all this right now. You can get out of all of this right now. And they started to show me, as I'm driving down the street, they started to show me ways that I could kill myself. Um, like places I could drive my car. There was a bridge coming up, like how I could drive my car off that bridge to kill myself. What street lights I could drive into to kill myself. And to be honest with you, I really was not affected by it at all. Like, I literally was driving and I was like, damn, that's crazy. And I drove my little butt to McDonald's and got my food and went home, and like, I don't know, it did not register with me at all. And that's a problem that I've had to address, because stuff be happening and I don't be registering it. But anyways, yeah, and then I think that night or a few days later, it like registered what happened. I was so terrified, and I was crying and just trembling and just oh, did I even mention panic attacks? Like, oh my god, dude, I used to have the worst panic attacks where I would just just the thought of something, or just, yeah, would just send me into just immense panic and just anxiety racing, cold sweat, shaking, trembling, like just losing it, completely losing it. Um, but anyways, and the second time, um, I um I went to sleep. I tried to go to sleep, and there's no way I can really explain this, but when I woke up, I was trying to go to sleep, like sleep, like for the night sleep, and I woke up like an hour or two later, and I was like laying down, like with my head like on my pillow. I mean, hello, does that make sense? My face on my pillow, and I could feel like these forces above me like fighting over me to some extent, fighting over like my soul, my spirit. I don't know, I still don't know exactly, what was going on, but I could definitely feel spirits fighting over me, and it was just such a strong presence in my room. Like, it was such a strong, like, you could literally like grab it almost, you could almost taste it, you could almost feel it. It was insane. And at that moment I was like, this is it. I truly cannot do this anymore. And I ran upstairs to my parents crying. Literally a 20, how old am I? I mean, I know how old I am, but I think I was still 22 at the time. 22 years old, running up to my parents, crying. That's probably the most terrified I've ever been in my life. Not really because of the demonic attacks, but I was just really terrified for my own life. I was really terrified. I just didn't know what else was going to happen at that point. If it could get any worse, I just didn't know anything at that point. So I told them like, I need some help. I need someone to help me, because this is not okay. This is not good. So I started going to therapy, and that's what they, diagnosed me with stuff. I don't know if I said the right things in that video. I don't remember what I have, but I have a good chunk of change of illnesses. But yeah, that's probably for another video. But yeah, so I started going to therapy, and I really just had no other choice but to like just focus on myself. I had no girl. I had I had some friends. I have to tread lightly. I have to tread lightly. I had friends. We didn't really hang out much. So I really felt like I didn't have friends. Um, and I was just super alone. I was literally going to the park every single day just to just walk. I can't explain how hard I was fighting just to keep like level headedness, just to keep me sane. Like not even to like prosper or like to be better and above. Like I'm trying so hard just to not kill myself, just to not go insane, just to not be in a psych ward, like that type of stuff. Um, and it was really hard. It was the hardest thing I've ever had to go through. It was an everyday thing. Um, and right now, I'm still not at all where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be. Hello, he's brought me here. Okay. Um, yeah, but I'm still not where I want to be, but I'm not there anymore. I don't, feel that way anymore. I still have my mental breakdowns. I do. I will tell you that right now. But, however, I am proud to announce. I don't know if I should tell everyone this, but I'm going to do it. Well, this is an announcement. This is just about me. I don't really tell people about this stuff, but actually, oh my God. See, this is why I shouldn't have done it live. My goodness. No, I need to do it live. Okay. Um, I've only had 2 mental breakdowns so far this year. Now, depending on how much you know about me, that number might not make any sense to you. Um, but towards the end of last year, well, not towards the end, well, yeah, like middle endish, I was having like 20 mental breakdowns like a month, like no cap, no kizzy. It was bad. Um, and like I said, I still go through things. I still have depressed days. I still am anxious. I still, like I'm not. I don't know if I'll ever get to this point where I'm like 100% fully healed and just this walking miracle man. Like I don't know if I'll ever get to that point. But what I do know is that I'm grateful to be where I'm at right now. I'm grateful that I'm not in the position that I used to be. But yeah, so I started going to therapy, and just trying to every day, just little. I didn't really have a choice. I think I thought for a while God wanted me to like work on myself, quote unquote, but I didn't want to. Like life was good. Like why change my life when it's good? I have everything I want. I had a job. I had a girl. I had a little bit of money. Like why change it? Like everything's going good. Like I got friends. Like everything's on and popping. And I think God really had to take me to a point where He's like, I need you to be here, and right now you're here. And yeah, you're happy, you're having a good time, but my calling, my anointing for you is just you're not there yet, and I have to get you here. So if I gotta drag you there, then that's what I'm gonna do. And that's what He had to do because I was not gonna willingly go for that. I was not gonna willingly do the things that I guess He wanted me to do. Um, so yeah, like I said, again for the 40th time, I started going to therapy, and at that point, I started to. Therapy did help me, but at the end of the day, like therapy only helps you so much. You have to do a lot of the work. Therapy will kind of show some things to you and show you how you do things, and maybe why you think things. But at the end of the day, like you have to put in the work. Yeah, I've been going to therapy for a while now, and I had a doctor. Like I was on medication. I don't even want to say medication that I was on because people aren't. I don't know. People are just weird. But I was on some meds. I was medied up. Okay, I was. Okay, I'm gonna just say this. No, I'm not. I'm not. Okay, I'll just say this. The stuff the rappers be talking about in these songs, they don't be lying. Okay, I mean I'm not talking as far as killing people. I don't know who killing who, but the stuff they be. Okay, we're just gonna leave it at that. But yeah, and here we are on this journey. I've grown so much. and I'm very grateful for it. But at the same time, I'm still not where I want to be. But I just feel like I never had something like this. I never knew. Again, I never knew anything about mental health. I never knew about anxiety, depression as a kid, as a teenager, even. So I want this to be somewhere where someone can learn and just understand what this is like and what and also like if you have a loved one who is maybe experiencing stuff like this, how you can help them, in what ways you can help them grow, in what ways you can support them. Because that's another thing, like people, like a lot of my close friends and family, they never experienced this. They never had people have these type of issues before, so it was hard for them as well. Like they didn't know, like what do I do in this situation? Like I don't know what's wrong with him. Like I don't know. Like so yeah, God's been good to me. Although just because things aren't going according to your plan doesn't mean they're not going according to plan. Um, that was from the Spirit right there. Okay, that one was free. That one was for free. The next one I'm gonna have to charge it $4.99, but that one was free. Just because things aren't going to your plan doesn't mean they're not going. Dang it! Dang it! Rewind that. Just because they're not going, just because things aren't going according to your plan doesn't mean they're not going according to plan. There you go. I'm gonna leave you with that. Again, I just want to talk a little bit about myself and my story. Yeah, I have so many things I want to say, and I'm trying to make it come out, and it's just not. If you're watching the YouTube, be sure to leave a like. It helps me out. Leave in the comments, maybe anything, literally anything in the comments, and any platform will help. Any type of encouragement, anything you want me to talk about, anything you want me to discuss. If you want me to have guests on here, like whatever you want, comment it. If you're watching this on some type of oh my god, what is the word? What's the freaking podcast? I was gonna say platform. What is platform? If you're watching this on any type of podcast platform, be sure to like leave it the stars or stuff. I don't really know what you do on there, but do that. And yeah, I appreciate you all so much for watching. I hope that this has benefited you in some way. And if it hasn't, I know that it will, because this isn't. Well, you're definitely gonna hear trains in the background. I'm just gonna let you know right now, because that's where I live. But yeah, I know this is gonna help a lot of people, not because of anything I'm doing, but I feel like I'm a vessel, and there's a lot that's gonna happen to this podcast that I'm just being used. I'm just a vessel for the healing to disperse. Okay, I'll leave you with that. Once again, thank you all for watching. Appreciate your support. Leave any comments you might like, and I will see you next Monday. Peace.